Phantom started out as a handful of an Arabian. In the previous sessions, Phantom has been bridled for the first time, saddled for the first time, accustomed to the lunge line around him, and taught to follow his nose. In today's session, I'll be working on his ground driving, and he will be ridden for the first time. You can watch all of his training sessions and follow his training progress by clicking on his YouTube playlist. We had a cold spell come through, and if you've been watching a while, you know how I feel about cold weather. It's not really as cold as what I act like, but I'm cold. But anyways, we're going to start with Phantom today, and I've been working on ground driving. I got that pretty nice. If everything goes good, hopefully we'll put a ride on him today. We'll see. We've been on him once, but all we did was just sit there, mainly just stepping up. At the time, his steering wasn't good enough to ask for any more, so that was all we did. These young green horses always like to put the bridle on first. I've noticed that helps a lot with their attention. Knock some of the dust off of him. There we go. I've noticed he looks like he's losing a little bit of weight. I have to up his feed. Horse burns a lot of calories, got a lot of energy. Turn away. And between just naturally burning a lot of energy and us working him a good bit, because when he's worked pretty good. It's not a horse that we can just kind of work lightly. When he's worked, he needs his mind engaged. And what I found with him is it works. I've got to put a good bit of pressure on him mentally to engage his mind. If you saw the video where I saddled him for the first time, he wasn't really scared of the saddle, and he's not really scared of much of anything. He's a very confident horse. And I never did really get his attention until I put the saddle on him and got some pressure on him. So when I'm working, I have to put some pressure on him mentally. Not physically, but mentally. You notice he's saddling and he's saddling and bridling nice. He likes being in the middle of all the stuff that goes on. Just horses in and out and whatever his activity goes on. He really likes it, and that goes along with that brain wanting to be engaged that I've talked about. The lunge line on him, and I'll tighten the saddle a little bit more. So I've been working on a lot of ground driving, a little bit of lunging, a lot of ground driving, getting him ready to get on and ride off, so that when we ride off he has some steering. When I do this kind of thing, see, let's go straight to driving. I'm not going to lunge him today. When I do this, I attach the lines to the halter. See how his mind is off over there? He's not concerned about what I am doing at all. He is very confident in all of this. So because of that, I have to keep challenging him with something to do. This is probably one of the horses I've had in, at least recently, that requires the most mental challenging to keep him in a good place. Normally I can engage their brain
easier than what I have to do with him. And it's a balance. It's a really hard balance because I have to teach him to steer. I have to teach him to do everything we're going to ask him to do going forward, but he gets bored with those things before he gets good with those things. And that has been a little bit worrisome on my part, because in that situation, it's really hard or really easy to push a horse past where they're ready for and create a problem because they weren't ready. Because I have to be pushing, I have to be advancing him to keep his mind on me. If I don't advance him, then he just starts ignoring me. So I've got to do things to make it mentally engaging for him. See how we're driving around. I've worked just the third or fourth time that I've driven him. And see, he's right from the beginning. He went straight to driving, no lunging, very, very much not worried about what I'm asking him to do, to the point where he's looking around, but he's still not driving that great. I'd really like for him to drive better before we step up there, but we're going to have to step up there because, see how his just attention isn't on me. It's got to be challenged. You can take a horse and get them really physically fit and physically wear them down and get a lot done. And him mentally, this is such a mentally strong horse that I've had to make quite a few adjustments, and really a lot of adjustments to like when I want to advance. Right there, a horse over there called, he stopped and looked. I sent him forward. He's moved forward off of a little bit of a threaten with the line and a smooch. So he knows what the smooch means. He knows the smooch means go forward. This horse is has the mental capacity to be really good in whatever direction he ends up going in. But he's going to be a challenge to train, I think, all the way through his life, because he just gets so mentally bored so easy. It's going to be tiring on the owner to keep him engaged. It takes a lot of mental effort to keep him engaged. I'm sure some of you have probably had kids or been around kids that way, that were just really tiring to just keep engaged. And that's what I'm dealing with here. See right there, he's pushing in, he wants to go over there, he wants to check out those horses. Gave him a little slap with the rein, didn't bother him. He's not scared of it. He's not scared of much of anything. I'd really like for him to be a little more scared, a little more concerned. A little more concerned, he would be a little bit more tuned in on me to see what I was doing. So I'll get a little bit rough with him, like popping the line like that. But I have to be really careful in doing that, because that just gets him more used to the idea, well, that didn't kill me, I guess I can just ignore that too. Let's see what we got for a stop. Whoa. Good boy. Back up. Back. 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 Kind of got him in a little bit of a bind. I'm just going to give him a chance to think about it. He wants to, now he's just rubbing his leg. Give him a little bit more of a pull. There we go, good boy. Back. Back. There, good boy. When I was out here driving him on Friday, today is Monday, when I was out here driving him on Friday, there was some stuff laying around in the arena. And it was actually it worked out really good because they gave me some cones and the step and stuff to drive him around. I occupy his brain in here. So that's something I'll keep in mind that I might use later. Good boy. So I got him out of his stall. He was out last night. Brought him in this morning and fed him in the stall. I got him out of the stall this morning. Brought him out here, saddled him up, went straight to this. No lunging, no anything, no attitude. His mind went pretty good straight to work. Pretty good for him. So before we really put the first rides on the horse, and like I said with him, we worked on step it up, but we didn't ask him to walk off. Before we put the first ride on the horse, basically want him to know everything that we're going to want him to know from the saddle. Turn left, turn right, stop, back up, and not be scared of us up above him. We get those, then usually have a pretty good shot of an uneventful first ride. And I think I'm pretty much there with him. So I'm going to ask him to stop. Whoa, good boy. And I think I'm going to see if I can get Robert to get up on him, and let's see what happens. Robert's in the back working on a fence right this second. So I'm gonna just turn him loose right here. Probably go work another horse. And then we'll come back and have Robert get on him. So I turned him loose for a few minutes after I ground drove him. It hadn't been long. I bet it hadn't been 10 minutes. And Robert come up here and we're gonna start stepping up and down and see exactly what happens. I really think he's going to be pretty good. He seems like he needs to be challenged. Don't trust him as far as he might bite you, Robert. I still don't trust that. He hadn't tried, but I ain't put him in a position where he could either. So he hasn't, right from the beginning, saddling, Phantom hasn't bucked yet. Not the first time. Don't mean he won't, but he hasn't yet. Robert's doing with his face just like what I was doing. Just keep pushing his face away, not really giving him the opportunity to nip at us. Just continually doing that should help that situation a lot without even really doing anything else about it. Oop. I'll come help you with that.
First time we ever done that.
All the way on the top on this side. I bet when I was ground driving, the line pull that Blevins buckled up.
Hey, at least he didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he's been really sensible.
I think
I think so too.
Well, first time for everything. Whoa, son. All right, buddy. This is your team.
So a lot of that was probably just Phantom getting his balance under Robert. I don't think he was really trying to be bad. Look, Phantom's already looking away. He's already okay with that thing. It's amazing how quick he gets okay with stuff. Like I said earlier, he gets okay with it before he really gets good at it. And that's a little worrisome. Robert still has the reins attached to the halter, just like I had them on the driving lines. He's going to keep his head to the side. Same, just like to walk in the circles that I do every horse. Just kind of keep his attention to the side. That helps to keep him from doing anything drastic too bad. But it also keeps his attention on us, because you've seen how with Phantom, he's really bad about looking away and ignoring. And one of the big risks there is he'll look away and ignore you, and then you'll do something, move around, and then that will scare him, and that's what we want to try to avoid. There we go. The ears is flicking around. That's a good sign. Normally, if they're really worried, really tense, those ears will come back and they get just really locked down tight. His ears are flicking around. That's a good sign. Robert wants to make sure he's got a little steer in both directions. Same thing, like to walk in the circles that we'll do the rest of the horse's life. Get their attention on us. There we go. A little bit of forward walk. Pretty relaxed so far.
Good boy.
So at this point, it's really a balance between getting a little bit of forward, keep his feet moving to get a little bit of walk on, a little bit of steering, And a little bit of walk is more important most of the time than a little bit of steering. But he needs to let us steer a little bit. That's why we do the ground driving. Basically, everything at this point is just like it was when I was driving. It's just that Robert's on his back instead of me driving behind him on the ground. Starting to get a little rhythm in his walk, looking good. Yeah, get back on. Think he's gonna be a good one, Robert.
We're gonna chase the cat.
A cat deserves to be chased. Somebody messaged me and asked me if I could teach a horse to herd cats. Give him something to follow. Yeah. And that's kind of been his thing all along. He'll get okay with something and not be worried about it before he gets good at it. And he just kind of starts ignoring and challenging before he's really good at something. So we're going to have to really challenge him to keep his mind in it. He don't seem a bit worried. He just needs miles now.
Yep.
Miles and learn how to steer.
No. Off of me. I know what you would like me to do.
See if you can get any backup. I've been working the backup on the ground. It hadn't been great, but he's been backing a little bit. There we go. Good. That ought to be good for today. That was nice. Nice first ride. I'll come get him and I'll unsaddle him in there.
It's the only thing I like doing. Putting them bits like that.
Yeah.
And the reins up in the
Yeah, I like that. Come on.
You ain't pulling so hard up on them now. In case they do something. Yeah, I know that fence was off when I went back there. We don't like it.
Yeah.
So we better whip it. I had it like
Yeah. I got it. Next time I need to put it in a higher hole on the other side.
People must have thought he was gonna be bad. He could have been.
It could have been. Yep. All right, go ahead and drag that off. I'll put him back in the stall.
You gotta know when you're gonna bring out here and do this too.
Yeah. Yeah, just leave that all there. Probably gonna get that thoroughbred out here and see what he does in a minute. I think you were in here.